10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's so tiny.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to this week's episode of It's So Tiny, miniature painting with this guy. I'm a couple minutes behind today because right when I was about to go live, the pool company decided to deliver the pool. So the dogs are freaking out, the wife is freaking out, the kids are freaking out, everybody's freaking out. Yeah, good times. Anyway, today we are painting the Shadow Piercer for Warhammer Age of Sigmar's Warcry. Or at least that's what I'm going to be using him as. Let's go down to the table and check out the model. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm very, very shaky today, and I think it's because I'm hungry. I did eat dinner, but apparently it was not enough dinner because the food is not hitting my belly. So this is the Shadow Piercer. I have primed it in Wraithbone primer. Actually, that's somewhat of a lie. I did a Zenithal highlight prime. I did black first, and then I hit it with Wraithbone over top. Ended up using a little more Wraithbone than I had originally planned, but that's okay. And then I threw a contrast paint on so that I could have the details pop, because miniatures like this, the details are super duper tiny, and they are difficult to see. So it's a big undertaking, a lot like last week's Black Powder. And so we are going to do what we can, get as much done as we can. Will we get it all done? I don't know. We'll see. I'm here for it either way. So here we have our palette. Let's see, which part of the palette should I use? I think I'll use this little part right here. And some paper towel. And I have my water. I apologize if my throat gets scratchy or I cough or I sneeze. I am still recovering from COVID. I was COVID positive on Monday, and now I am fighting it. I do feel a lot better, though. So that is the good news. All right. This is a challenging model. So we're just going to deep dive here into it. I'm going to start skin colors. Cadian flesh tone. Hey G, welcome. I saw that you had sent me a thingy on the thingy, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I started to, and then the pool guy showed up, and then I was like, oh crap, I gotta go. All right, let's see. Cadian flesh tone. Let's pick out the parts of the miniature that is showing skin. There is not much, but there is some. So this character is actually female. So we have a bit of midriff showing here. So like I said, I will be using this miniature for a game called Warcry. You can also use the miniature in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. I don't know if you can use it in Warhammer Underworlds. They're all set in the same universe. Yeah, pool guy is finally here, delivering the pool. Um, I am so... Yeah, the model was a little bit... I might have to move the camera. I'm needing extra support from the table today because I'm shaking so bad. Hope that everyone is enjoying their week. I wouldn't say my week has been terrible. I mean, obviously I've had COVID, but work gave me time off for recovery and stuff, so it's not like I've been slaving away while I've been recovering, so that's good at least, I guess. It is a strange model because, clearly she's got on some kind of a weird bird suit thing. This faction is called the Corvus Cabal. That is the faction that I have chosen. It's a sub-faction. They belong to the Slaves to Darkness, which again is set in the Age of Sigmar world. I really like the way the miniatures look. I have the whole warband here next to me. I will show you guys in a minute. I don't understand why I'm shaking so bad. It's weird. How many points is it, the warband? 100. Well, it depends on how you build them. The way that I have them built, I can make it anywhere between 995 and did I say 100? I meant 1,000. It's 1,000 points. It is a skirmish game. So my warband is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My warband is 9 models. I don't really play big army games anymore. I played 40K, at 2,000 points, 3,000 points for a little while, but it just got to be... The problem with games like that is you pretty much have to commit to one faction, and there's really not a lot of wiggle room to dive into other factions unless you want to drop a ton of money. What's nice about skirmish games is, you can jump into a faction like I'm doing here with Corvus. But if I play them a couple of times and I don't like them, I haven't invested a ton of money. I can just, pick something else up. Or maybe trade somebody if they have one that they don't like either. So that's why I kind of like skirmish games. By the way, I have no idea what kind of color scheme I'm going to do here. I am super winging it. What's coming out with a new edition soon? Oh, Warhammer Warcry. Yeah. My problem with Warhammer Warcry is my very first experience with it. The guy who was showing me how to play beat me turn 1 because I accidentally put my commander or my leader or whatever it's called like a half a centimeter too close to his army, and he was able to one-shot the commander. And at the time, I don't know if the rules have changed or whatever, at the time, your commander dies, the game's over, you lose. So I set up my table on my side. He set up his. Keep in mind, he was teaching me the game. Okay? He was teaching me how to play. I had bought a warband or whatever they called them in that game. We set up. He activated first. He measured. I was literally like a half a centimeter too close, or close enough to his army for him to attack my leader. Turn 1, my leader died. It was over. I didn't even get to do anything. And I was like, wow, this game's fun. Yeah. Alright, let's see. I'm grabbing some Dark Reaper from Citadel. Yeah, I mean, I'm all like, I'm all about like not purposely going easy on somebody once they're used to the game, but I'm not gonna, you know. He was like, "Yeah, you can't do that, man. That's how people will screw you over, like I just did." I was like, yeah, but now I don't want to play anymore. So good job, I guess. I did end up playing a couple more games. That wasn't like the only game that I played. Um, but I don't know. I guess I never recovered from that. I still have some Warjacks laying around here that I plan on painting on stream at some point. Um, oh yeah, Malifaux. I really want to play Malifaux. I have a Malifaux faction. Um, I did play. I played a demo at a convention one time, and I really liked the demo. So I bought a faction. It's painted and everything, but I haven't played. And I think they've even gone through 2 rule changes since I bought that. So go figure. But the miniatures are great, and I really like the Fate deck card mechanic. Um, it's probably my favorite thing about the game. I like games that don't rely on die rolls. I mean, it's still luck of the draw, but the thing with a deck of cards is you might get a crappy draw this turn, but eventually you're going to get a good draw because you're guaranteed, good draws at some point. Not that I don't like chucking dice, I do like. Everybody loves chucking dice. As soon as I move to the UK, you promise. Okay. That's a great deal. I will take you up on that. But first, you have to come swim in my pool in Boston, and then we'll talk. I gotta look something up real quick. I don't know what color to do this piece here. I think I want to do a... I'm going to do Scrag Brown, I think. Scrag Brown or... I'll do this one instead. I'm using XV88. Sounds like a Star Wars character. It's actually like a orangey kind of brown. I was trying to think of something that was complementary to the blue. So I had to pull up my little color wheel that I have on my phone. And it looks like, you know, red or orange, but I don't want red. Brown gives me more of a Indian kind of tribal color to work in with that blue. I think it'll look nice. Now I'm going to use Vallejo's German Camo Black Brown. This is the darkest brown I have, so that's why we're going with this color. I'm going to paint the straps. Is it wrong that the moment you said German, I was expecting gray to be the next word? No, that's not wrong. Usually that's exactly what happens. I'm painting all the straps in the same color. For models like this where I'm not using a photo and I'm kind of coming up with my own colors, I'm not usually very good at this, and this is my first one that I'm painting in the warband. So whatever color scheme I come up with here, I'd like to stick with it throughout the whole warband. But yeah, this is not something I'm usually very good at, is determining a color scheme. So I'm just kind of making it up as I go. Right now I try and put myself in the position of thinking about what I'm painting as a real thing. So like imagining that this character, like, she probably made her own armor, which means that she probably used the same leather straps that she had when she made the armor throughout, right? Because that's what I would do. I would just, if I had straps of leather or scraps of leather, I would use it for everything that I could. So that's what I'm kind of doing here. I'm just looking at the model and I'm like, okay, so she's got some leather straps. maybe everything that's made of leather she made with the same material. And then I have to decide what color I want the feathers to be, because that's going to be a big part of the miniature as well. So I forgot to paint the face of the dude who she's holding. She's holding somebody's head. She's just decapitated someone. She is holding their head. Moustache Prawn, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Teal might not be a bad idea, actually. I will have to, I'll have to check it out and see. Where was the leather strap I was just working on? Oh, I gotta paint the face of the dude she just decapitated. That's what I was saying. Right now I'm just trying to block in some colors of things that I know I want painted, you know? But teal's not a bad idea. You love teal, do teal. Alright, let's look and see what teals I have as soon as I'm done with this leather. I know I have some nice aquas, like aqua teal. See if I can find a neutral teal. Teal doesn't tend to be a very earthy color. And right now I've got a lot of earthy colors, so we'll have to see. Painting up some Necrons, nice. What kind of contest is it? Or what type of competition? I mean, I'm assuming it's a painting competition, but like, what are the parameters? So I've changed up the miniature a bit. I did do a tiny bit of kit bashing on the warband that came out of the box. So the way that it comes out of the box, this particular model is a little finicky with her raven. She actually has a raven. I've put it on one of the other models, but the raven actually sits on top of the head, and I didn't really like that very much. It was too brittle. So I took this other raven that came in the set, and I set it on the end of the sword. So that's why that looks like that. If anyone is out there watching it thinking, well, that's not how my model looks. I did do a bit of kit bashing. And like I said, I'll show off the rest of the war. This is the first one I'm painting, so everything else is also unpainted. But I'll show you. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm grabbing some of my Cadian flesh tone from my palette, and I am painting this dude's face. Dead guy. dead guy's face. Is that hair? Are we... I'm assuming that's hair. Sometimes with GW models, you just don't know. Sometimes you just have to guess. Yep, that looks like hair to me. And just paint it as hair. I mean, he's dead, so I guess it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, because she's holding his head. Alright, well that's not a bad start. Let's take a gander. I'm going to set the model down for a second, and then I'm going to go over to my... Let's see, what can I put the model on so y'all can at least see that instead of nothing. There we go. So I'm going to set that down. I'm going to look around and see what teal colors I have. This one might not be bad. Sorry, I was using my paint stirrer. Alright, I got a couple options here. Let's see. What do we think? What do we think? This one might be just sky blue. Let's see. I'm gonna paint each of these feathers a different color, and we'll go from there. Kind of like that. And I don't have to paint them all the same. I mean, I probably won't paint them all the same. They'll probably all be the same shade. I'll just highlight slightly different so they look different, you know. should just keep this on here, huh? So you can see the different... One more. So there's the different colors. I'll be honest with you, I kind of like this blue. The very first one that I did. I think that might be the one I go with. I mean, I like this too, but it's, I don't know, I think those light blue feathers will really pop. All right. Command decision. I saw somebody on, I think it was on Reddit maybe, that painted this warband like white chickens. So like instead of being like this dark, ominous, you know, earthy looking, you know, raven birds, they all look like KFC chickens. It was kind of hilarious. And the paint job was done really, really well. So that also really added to the aesthetic. I was on there trying to look for like inspiration, and nothing really jumped out at me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wing it, and it'll look great. And so far, I am really liking this color scheme. So, yay. I don't know what is happening with my music. Okay, picking a different song, because that one is just not wanting to play. don't know what the heck that was all about. Thank you. Yeah, I think it looks good so far, too. This was a good color suggestion. It's a little more sky blue than it is teal, but so the last thing that I need to decide, I gotta remember which blue that was. I think it was this blue. The last thing that I really need to decide is the, by the way, the one that we settled on is Adriatic Blue from Scale 75. That is the blue that we are using for these big feathers. So this fur that's back here, I think it's supposed to be feathers as well, but it looks more like fur to me, so I'm going to refer to it as fur. I need to figure out a color for that as well. That kind of ties everything together. If I could find a dark blue that kind of sets, or maybe a blue that's slightly, I'm not sure, purple? Purple, maybe? Should I do like a dark purple or a light purple? All right, while we discuss that, we're going to use Vallejo's German color gray. This is going to be for the raven and for the hair on our dead friend, our super dead friend, who is very dead. He's going to I wonder if I have a purple-gray color. I might have a purplish-gray color. Like I said, I'm going to paint this raven. So something that you may or may not know about me, probably don't, because it's not like everybody here necessarily knows me on a personal level. But I have a thing for birds, right? So I really, really like birds. One of the reasons why I chose this warband. But I've actually been doing research because I've been putting up bird feeders at the house, and we have these blackbirds that come by and eat all the food, and they scare away the little birds. And I didn't know what they were. I mean, I assumed they were crows, but you always associate crows and ravens to look very similar. So I needed to do some research, and I needed to figure out what the difference between a crow and a raven is. Crows are actually fluffier ravens are actually fluffier than crows are. So in this case, I imagine this bird is pretty fluffy. He doesn't look as sleek as I would imagine a crow would be. And so we're calling him a raven. Oh, and I forgot to paint the guy's hair. Come on, get it together. Sorry, I'm not meaning to bring that off camera. Trying to pull it close to my face so I don't screw up. There we go. Our headless guy now has hair. I could just use German gray for that fluff too. And I don't think that would look horrible at all. But let's see what kind of purples I got here. Corvus Cabal and the Unmade have the best vibes. They do, right? Such cool stuff. Speaking of, I said I was going to start showing off some of these for those that haven't seen it. Here's one of their other miniatures. This guy is gnarly. The reason that I didn't start with this model is because this connection point makes me super nervous. That's literally all that's holding that model onto the base. But look how freaking cool that thing is, man. It's so cool. I like this model too. I mean, I like all the models, but this guy's pretty sweet too. All right, let's see what purples I got. See what purples I got. I don't know. I don't know if I like any of the purples I have for this. to do about that white. I think I'm going to go German gray on the fur, if I'm being honest. I think I'm going to do that. I might regret it. And purple was a great suggestion, G. I just don't have a good purple that I like. If I had like a grayish purple, then I still want to keep earthy tones. Like even that blue that I'm using, while I really like the way that it looks, I am going to darken it a bit when I put some shades on it and stuff like that. This German gray tends to be a little thick, so I need to make sure that I'm really watering it down well. I could also use a contrast paint, but as you can see, the contrast paint kind of failed me earlier, so I'm just going to paint it up. Yes, thank you for saying that you enjoy the light blue. That was actually a suggestion from somebody else in the chat, was to go with a teal, and I think it's working out really nicely. What's cool is my favorite type of bird is a blue jay. And when I sat down to paint these, I had zero intention of painting them any particular way. And the fact that it's starting to turn into this blue color scheme is kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't look like a blue jay, obviously. But still cool, right? Still cool. I think it's cool. Oh man, starting to get to places where it scares me to get the paintbrush in there because it's so close to everything else I've already painted. I mean, I can always fix mistakes. I just made a big boo-boo. I can see it. So I can fix all that, but it still kind of drives me crazy. Because, you know, more time fixing mistakes is less time painting other things that you want to paint. All right, let's see. Going back to my blue. I'm going to try something real quick. Just experimenting a bit with these feathers. Is that too much? Just playing around with different colors to see if like doing them all the same color is better than I'll walk you through what I settled on here. I'm liking the idea here of using um, 3 different feather colors instead of just 2. So I make the orange one the least used because it's really just the accent color to bring everything together. Um, Whereas the light blue is the primary, and then the greenish blue just kind of makes it so that it's not so monotonous looking at all the same colors. And I mean, at the end of the day, bird feathers aren't all the same color. So even feathers from the same bird are gonna have different tones and shades and all that stuff. So it's pouring at my house. I can hear it. All right. So the orange that I ended up using was this Jacaro orange. And I used Jade from Acryl 75, or Acryl Pro Acryl, and then this Adriatic Blue from Scale 75. So this is the three colors that I used for the feathers. And I may change that up. I don't know. I haven't settled on it. Right now, the way it looks on the miniature, it looks pretty good. I'm going to use Steel Legion Drab. This is going to be for the wood. And the little tie thing. I'll show you in a second. So this little cord here that connects it all together. I know some of this is bone. I will paint it as bone. But the rest of it, I imagine, is like a wooden, just like a piece of wood that holds all of the bone bits on. So I just want to get that wood color all over the place here. All right. Let's see. Now we got to start getting into the metallics. I thought about doing non-metallic metallics, but I think I'm just gonna go with metallics. I was just gonna ask if you were still alive. All right. I got dark silver and regular silver from Pro Acryl. I'm going to use these. As well as bronze. These are the 3 metallics that I'm going to use. We're going to start with the dark silver. Hey, I put the Gundam together, actually. I posted a picture on my Instagram. It was pretty fun. It wasn't as bad as I guess I thought it was going to be. It went together pretty quickly. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you for the recommendation. I'll have to look and see if there's a selection of that particular type, the EG, because that was it wasn't very stressful. Honestly, the hardest part of doing it was the stickers. The stickers weren't a ton of fun to do, but, I'm getting the hang of it. I don't like doing transfers on models either, so it's not just Gundam stickers. It's all tiny things like that. It's hard I got fat fingers, so. EG Strike, I'll have to look that up. Because like I said, I did like doing it. I don't know if it's something I would do often, like, but the thing that was nice about it is I was able to just sit on the couch while we were watching TV and put it together. I didn't have to bring up my tools from the basement. I didn't have to, I just got like a little plate, put it in my lap so nothing would fall on the floor. And, you know, before one episode of a TV show was over, it was together. And it looks really good. I love, like, yeah, it just looks really good. Oh no, bad dreams suck. I hate bad dreams. I know some people use soapy water for stickers, but I don't really do stickers, so I don't really have much knowledge for that. Yeah, I don't know if I would do stickers on every single model, but since this was like the red, white, and blue version, like, I had to throw them stickers on there because they were just super cool on the model. But obviously, if you were going to do a custom paint job or you don't care about the stickers, then that makes things a lot easier. Whew. Sorry, I'm not meaning to pull it off screen. Having a hard time seeing some of these little details. I don't think I had any eye stickers on mine. It was like a piece of plastic, like red plastic, that made the eyes. Would you ever consider custom painting a Gundam? Sure. I mean, they're not super tiny, but they're tiny enough to fit underneath the thing here. All right. Now I'm gonna grab. That was the dark metal. Now I'm gonna grab, or the dark silver. I would need to do like a community vote or something like that to vote on color schemes and stuff, because that's definitely not something I would want to just do on the fly like I am this model. But yeah, it could be fun. I mean, gee, I already know that you would vote for like a, pink. Pink color scheme. This blade is super, super cool. Have an official tiny Gundam. That's not a bad idea. I think we have a Circle of Nerds Gundam. I think somebody at some point in time had painted us a... Oh, you know what? No, never mind. That's not what it is. I don't know what this is. Is this supposed to be like... I think I'm going to cut that off, because I do not understand what that's supposed to be. Unless that's like what... Yeah, I don't know what the heck that's supposed to be. And again, all of this will get toned down a bit once I put washes and stuff on everything. So, if you're looking at it right now going, man, that's really bright silver. Well, that's because it is. missing anything else metallic. All right. Last metallic I'm going to grab is bronze. Do the Gundams cost much? It really just depends on how big it is and what grade it is. So they come in different grades, and the higher the grade, the more pieces, the more difficult it is to put together. However, the more detailed it is, right? So it's kind of like you have to find the quality that you are interested in and weigh that against how skilled you are at building them and how much patience you have to build them and stuff. The one that I built recently and posted about, the one I built a couple of days ago, I think it was only like $15 at Target. All right, now I just got to do the bone, and I think we're good for some washes and some shades and stuff. So grab some oosh shabbity bone. almost to that point. Excuse me. I don't see anything unpainted, which is the key here. Looks like everything is painted. Alright, I just have to do one little cleanup, and then I'll start doing some shades. Where was that cleanup that I was going to do? Right here. Not that it matters too much, because all this is going to get highlighted later anyway, but I just like to know that I did it right the first time, I guess. Alright, I'm going to let it dry for 1 second, grab my washes here. I do need these. So these, I'm trying to keep all my stuff together here that I've used. So these two can go away. I've used all of this. I've used a lot of colors already. So I'm going to use the trifecta of shades here. Nuln Oil, Rackland, and Agrax. We will start with the flesh first. You didn't miss anything other than I finished all the base coats, so now I'm going to throw a wash on. So we're starting with the skin here. Make sure we don't forget Mr. Dead Man here. Mr. Dead Face. We'll call him Bob. Poor Bob. Unless anybody that's watching's name is Bob, in which case I apologize that I have categorized this dead man's head with your name. Poor Bob. All right. Now we will move on We'll do the Agrax next. Save the one that I'm going to use the most for last. Putting this on all the earthy stuff. I'm not going to put it on the feathers because I'm just not going to. I'm going to use a black wash for that. Being careful, I don't want my shades to mix together. If it does a little bit, it's not the end of the world, but I will avoid it where I can. I guess I'm using the brown on the feathers. That might actually be a good idea anyway. When in doubt, make it look like that was your plan all along. Especially if it turns out well. My wrists are great right now. I'm still a little shaky like I was earlier, but I don't think that has to do with my wrists. I think it has to do with the COVID and like the lack of sleep. I don't think it has anything to do with the wrists because the wrists feel mint at the moment. Have you eaten much today? I mean, I had dinner, had lunch. I mean, I guess I haven't eaten as much as I normally do. But I don't feel like I'm starving at the moment or anything. I could eat, but I can always eat. It's a rare occasion where you'll say, hey, you want to eat? And I'll say, nope. the only time I think I would tell you no is if I've literally just got done eating. Alright, now I'm dipping into the Nuln Oil and everything that I didn't shade with the Agrax and the flesh shade. I forgot to do the feet when I did the flesh shade. And the back of the legs. Guess I'll have to do that in a second. Just moving this stuff around all over the place, trying to get it in all the recesses without compromising the spots that I don't want it. Like the feet. Painting up Bob's hair. What about Bob? We can't forget about Bob. So we've named our head Bob. What are we going to name our bird friend? Because we do have a little bird friend here on the miniature. And he needs a name. Taking name suggestions for the bird. Alright, I'm going to grab some flesh wash really quick, and then we can just let this dry for a few minutes. This is just for the legs, because I forgot that there was even flesh down here. This probably is not super important, but if I'm going to wash the rest of it, I might as well wash this. Shade, not wash. You should call him Tiny. Well, congratulations. That is definitely his name. Alright, well, now we just gotta let this dry. So I'm gonna use this time to take a quick bathroom break. I'm gonna let him dry. I'm gonna throw up the be right back screen. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in like less than 5 minutes. Hey, hey, I'm back. Thanks for sticking around if you did. I'm back here with, we'll call her Sue. So we're here with Sue, Bob, and Tiny. Regular old family here. All right. So, let's start to brighten some things back up. We'll just go through this a little bit at a time. I'm going to move this over here, move that over there. Running out of table space here. Excuse me. Oh, man. How's everybody out there in TV land? Everybody sticking with me here? Jumbo coffee. If I took jumbo coffee right now, I would not be able to go to sleep for like ever. So I haven't picked up any new colors yet. Right now I'm just grabbing previous colors and brightening back up some of the details that got muted from the shade. Alright, game time. What does that mean? Does that mean you're playing a game? Or does that mean you're giving up? You're throwing in the towel? Oh, you're giving me a game. You're fighting a horde of zombies, countless numbers. You get one hero to take into battle with you. Blade or Lion-O? Blade or Lion-O? Blade or Lion-O? Where'd you come up with that? Blade or Lion-O? Blade or Lion-O? Going Blade. For the simple fact that Blade has more experience fighting supernatural creatures like that. I shouldn't even call them supernatural creatures, but creatures from beyond the grave. So yeah, I'm going Blade. Who would you go with, and why? And Blade is kind of like a one-man wrecking crew, right? And I feel like Lion-O relies a lot on his companions. And so without his companions, I don't necessarily know that he could last in a battle like that for as long as Blade could. Because, I mean, you could argue that Lion-O, right, like he fights monsters too. So I could definitely see the argument for Lion-O, but then you've got to throw in the fact of the matter that Blade is usually, he works by himself, whereas Lion-O does not. And Lion-O is still a young king, like Blade is a very experienced fighter. Wolverine or doesn't matter because Wolverine wins. Buffy's human. I mean, I think that mutant in this case wins. You know, like I think that. Yeah, I think mutant wins here. I mean, that might be a cop-out of an answer. Like, eventually Buffy will die. Wolverine will not. And again, one-man wrecking crew versus teenager who, again, relies very much so on her friends. Blade or Buffy. It all comes down to that friendship thing. Now, if we do like Blade versus Wolverine, now we have an argument because both are one-man wrecking crews. Both are extremely hard to kill. And that's, I think, when I give the edge to Blade, because Blade has fought creatures like that before. I'm sure he's even fought zombies. I don't know too much about Blade comics, but, I mean, let's assume if he's fought vampires, he's fought, let's assume that he's fought all kinds of other crazy stuff. I mean, maybe Wolverine has fought zombies, but I would say probably not to the extent that Blade has. So I would give that edge to Blade. So I'm thinking Blade's gonna win. Ultimately, Blade of the ones you gave me, Blade is the winner of that scenario among all of the others. Problem is I mean, Buffy died twice and still survived. Hey, Tony. The problem is that Wolverine is just extremely hard to kill. You know, like, just so tough to kill. I can't imagine that a zombie would be able to do it. I'm grabbing a new color. I'm going to grab Mornfang Brown. This is just going to be for little bips and bobs and stuff that I sea that needs some brownish color that's not already painted brown. Thor or Superman? Thor or Superman? Does Thor have any weaknesses? I mean, I understand the argument for Superman here, but I guess without his hammer or his axe. Grabbing some Thunderhawk Blue. Putting a little bit of white scar into each of these feather colors, just so that I can just do some highlights here. Is it weird that, like, I don't like my feathers anymore now that they're done? It's not that I don't like them. I don't like how they I don't like how the color finished, I guess. So I'm just reapplying a little bit of color back to them. I feel like I lost a bit of the orange is fine, it's the blues. There we go, much better. I love this discussion that you guys are having. I am reading it. I'm just putting some shade in the eyes. These eyes are nearly impossible to paint. They're not impossible, but for my purposes, I don't need them to look a certain way, so I'm gonna go the easy route and just fill them with a wash and let the wash dry and call it a day. Now I'm going to do a bit of dry brushing. I bought some new dry brushes. Some cheap makeup brushes. This is going to be for that fur on the back, as well as the bird. Who we have named Tiny. Now I'm going to get a little bit of Administratum Gray. We get a little bit of yellow. I think that the raven's eyes should be yellow. It's 1-1, you're the tiebreaker. Sorry, what? Refresh me on what the fight is. I still don't have a... Batman versus Stark, is that... They're not fighting each other. This is still the zombie thing, correct? Well, I can't stand Iron Man, so Batman wins this one. I am not an Iron Man fan at all. Bias, but okay. It is bias. G said, who's your favorite? And so... I think that Tony Stark has more intellect, but I think that Batman has more money. Iron Man has more intellect, Batman has more money, and Batman has more street smarts. And I feel like against a zombie horde, you're going to need more street smarts than you are high-tech stuff. There's my argument. And now it's time for blood for the blood god. I don't know enough about Iron Fist to be a part of this argument. I just know that he was in the Defenders show that I didn't watch. my turn to pick a matchup. The Ghostbusters or the A-Team? I went a little crazy on the gore and violence here of... I mean, I'm pretty sure A-Team had some weapons and stuff. I guess in my mind, the two teams are opposite, right? So you've got a group of scientists who have, pretty much exclusively, not pretty much, exclusively run-ins with supernatural, right? So that's their advantage. Versus a team of ex-military, brute force, I'm gonna kick your ass kind of dudes. That's what would make out the, that's what would make up the bulk of the argument is what wins, the science and the experience, or the brute force and the military tactical experience, I guess you could say. For now, for my for this warband, I'm just going to paint the bases black. Once the entire warband has been painted, then I will give all of the bases one uniform looking match. Yeah, the Ghostbusters might research, a cure, whereas, the A-Team's just going to go in there guns blazing and this whole warband will get some cool fancy bases, though, for sure. It's one of the things I like about small war bands like this is you get to experiment with bases. Because you don't have like 500 miniatures that you need to do the same base with. It's always hard for me when I'm playing a big army game to justify spending the time to do bases on all those, foot soldiers and small units and stuff like that. I did when I first started playing Warhammer 40,000, when I started painting Marines, because we did paint as you go. So we did a league. It was like paint as you go. So it was like, this week we're starting with 500 points. Everybody bring in a painted 500 points. And that was only like a couple units. And then the next week or 2 weeks later, it'd be like, okay, now add a vehicle. So you only had to paint one miniature, you know what I mean? You were adding a vehicle. And then the next week or two, it'd be like add a leader, like a single model. So by the time you were done, you had you played in this league, but by the time you were done, you had a 2,000 point army that was fully painted. So it was really manageable, it really introduced the game well and stuff like that, but I think that's it. I think that's all I want to do. Yeah, I went a little crazy on the blood. That was definitely not my intention. But once I got started and I was like, oh, I'm going to use this little bit here that's hanging down as like a run of blood running down. But then I was like, well, if that was happening, then there would definitely be blood on these feathers, right? If he just decapitated the guy with his long claws right here, and he was holding up the head, the blood would be running down, and it would get all up in these feathers right here. So I felt it necessary to bleed up the feathers, and I hope tomorrow when I wake up and I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a smart idea. That looks great. And I'm not like, oh yeah, that was really stupid and it looks terrible, because I'm kind of stuck with it now. So next time I actually get around to painting one of these Corvus guys, I'm thinking maybe I might have to paint this guy up. He's going to be a flippin' nightmare to paint. Absolute nightmare. I may actually save him for last, to be honest. So let me show you some of the other guys. Well, this guy is much easier, right? He's got a couple feathers. He's got another one of these bushy things down here. So I was telling you guys earlier, so this raven right here that's on this guy, this raven actually came specifically for this model. And it was attached to the top of his head. So it was like resting on top of his head. And it was like the connection point was super small. So what I did was I snipped it off with some scissors. This model here, or with some clippers, this raven here was intended to go with this miniature here. So instead of being this spear, she was basically holding out her hand, and this raven that's sitting on the sword was in her hand. So I snipped that off and put it here so that she still had a raven. And then the raven that was on here, I added to this guy, because in the game, you can take special weapons and certain things, and a familiar is one of the things you can take. And it allows you a bonus and stuff. So I gave him the familiar. So he's going to act as, it's called a cabaltist, or a cabaltist? I think it's cabaltist, I don't know. With a familiar, and a cabaltist without a familiar. So these are the two regular ones. So here's the regular guy here on the right, and here's the one with the familiar on the left. And then I built 3 spear guys. So I got one, 2, and 3. Here's the last spear guy. So I got 3 spear guys. 1, 2, 3. A regular guy with no spear, and a regular guy with a familiar. And then I have 2 of these special guys. I can't remember what they're called, but they're on slightly larger bases. This dude's all like hulking out and crap. And then there's this guy who's also hulking out, and he's got this giant claw thing. So there's 2 of these. There's 3 guys with the spears, 1 guy with just regular weapons, 1 guy with a with regular weapons and a familiar, and then this dude, and then the leader, which is who I just painted, and her name is the Shadow Piercer. So I like that we didn't just do traditional black feathers, raven's feathers. I think that having this this feathery half cape works well to incorporate the raven colors, and then just giving my particular warband something special that sets them apart from the other miniatures, from the other armies that are painting this guy. And then, of course, we have the blood and stuff. So overall, I think it turned out pretty well, and not too bad for 3 hours and 10 minutes, and we took a break, and I started late. So this is a record for It's So Tiny. And we had great conversation in the chat, and G didn't fall asleep this time. So congratulations to G for watching the entire stream, and I just dropped it and broke everything. No, I didn't really. Oh snap! I did get some. Okay, see, I got cocky. I got cocky. I am going to have to take a picture of the primary colors that I used, since, I mean, this will go on YouTube or whatever, but I don't want to, forget what colors I painted those feathers. So I'm going to start cleaning these guys up. And then I will show you guys one more time before we close out what colors I used. So these models are absolutely beautiful, as Tony, you pointed out. But they are very finicky. Like, the parts are so small and brittle. I'm going to be so nervous when I actually play the game with them. But there's nothing more satisfying than playing a game with miniatures that you painted. So the three colors that we used for the feathers were these three right here. So the orange feathers, the green feathers, and the blue feathers. So I'm actually going to lay these out, pull out my phone. Take a snap. And that's really the only colors that I need to remember, because everything else, that's really just, those are going to be the staple colors of the army. I will clean all of this up tomorrow, so you don't need to watch me clean up. All right, let me switch back to... All right, so thank you, everybody who watched the stream and participated in the chat. We had lots of chat participation, which is always great. You saw all of my socials on the last screen, so make sure you go and like and follow those. I am going to be doing a giveaway on my Instagram, so if you aren't following me on Instagram, make sure that you follow me on Instagram at @TheRealDaddyLouie. I believe that as long as everything goes according to plan, that giveaway will start next week. And it will be for a brand new unopened game delivered to you from me. And I'm not going to tell you what game it is because it's a surprise. Surprise! Yeah. So I am going to sign off here and go to sleep because I have a very long day tomorrow. I have to take down a fence for the pool because we are getting a pool. But I have to take a fence down first. Manual labor. While I have COVID. Should be a flippin' good time. Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I will be back next Thursday. Same Twitch time. Same Twitch channel. Excuse me while I go learn how to use Instagram. Yep. Go do that. What did I say? I don't know. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Play your games. Paint your miniatures. And I will see you guys right here next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay. I'm going to press the outro button now. Where is it? Where's the outro? There it is. Bye. Bye.
It's so tiny.